Hello, I'm Rachel and I'm 35 years old. I had been happily married for 6 years before I found out that my husband was cheating on me. While that in itself was shocking, the way in which I found out was even more absurd. Allow me to tell you my story. I met my ex-husband Joey at college. We shared a few classes and got paired to do a few projects, which is what got us talking. He asked me out on a date and I said yes. That one date turned into many more. We dated for around 4 years after that. At that time, we graduated and moved in together. We spent some time focusing on our careers, and we had no concrete plans for marriage, but we did talk about it happening sometime later on. However, when I was 25, I got pregnant with my daughter Noelle. Joey was ecstatic about the pregnancy, and so was I. We decided to get married as soon as we could. We got married 3 months after I found out I was pregnant, and then another 5 months later, I gave birth to Noelle. At first, both Joey and I struggled to get used to our new roles as parents. We were constantly sleep deprived and had absolutely zero time to ourselves, especially because we were also working full time. So I decided to take a step back and work only part-time. Joey made a little more than I did, and it was the smarter decision. That way, at least, we were able to give each other a break whenever we needed it. Our arrangement worked quite well. In fact, it worked well enough that we decided that we'd just leave it this way. And that's how it was for the next 4 years. I took care of Noelle the most, while Joey brought home the money and would take care of her on the weekends while I worked. However, things changed suddenly one day for us. It was a regular day. I greeted Joey as he walked through the door after work. "How was work?" "Tiring as usual, but I do have some news." "Oh no, is everything okay?" "Yes, I still have my job, but I got told that I'll be needing to put in more hours." "Okay, how many more hours?" "A few more, and I'll have to be traveling on business trips." "Are they going to be paying you more?" "No." "What? Then how is it fair that they're asking you to do more?"
I know. They promised me a promotion if I prove myself worthy.
That's not good. What if you work like a dog and they never give you a promotion? Did you talk to them about this?
I did, and they told me that if I had any problems, then I was free to leave.
That's not right.
I know, but what choice do I have? We have a child and I can't afford to lose this job.
You're right, but that doesn't mean that you can't start applying to other jobs.
We'll see about that. I just feel bad because that means that I won't be home a lot.
Hey, that's okay. You're working hard to make sure that we live comfortably. I'll quit my part-time job so I can be more present with Noelle.
I'm sorry that you have to do that.
No, it's okay. These are the struggles that we need to go through to have a better life. You don't need to worry too much. Besides, I have a few friends with connections and I can ask them to ask around for any openings that other companies might have for you.
That would be good. Can we not talk about this for now? I'm already tired and I just want to rest for now.
Of course, I have dinner set for us to have. Go freshen up and come back downstairs. I felt bad that Joey would barely be home. I tried my best to find him other jobs, but Joey always had an issue with them. Eventually, I just gave up on trying to help him. Thankfully, my sister Christina had moved to our city around this time, and I, at least, got to enjoy her company when Joey was not around. Christina and I shared a strong bond, and she really was my best friend. She also spoiled Noelle rotten, but I didn't mind that. Whenever Joey would be gone for days, I'd ask her out to coffee, and we'd spend the evening just having so much fun. And whenever Joey was in town, she'd come over to our place for dinner. Joey and Christina ended up becoming really great friends too, and I remember thinking that I was lucky to have such a tight-knit family. However, just a few months later, I got a call from the hospital telling me that my dad had been admitted there because he passed out from very high blood sugar levels. They told me that he would have to remain there for a few days just for observation and until he was stabilized. I was panicking, so I went to Joey about it. "Honey, I just got a call from the hospital."
"Oh no, is everything okay?"
"Not really. Dad's blood sugar levels shot up like crazy and he passed out. He's there right now and they need him to stay there for a few days just for observation."
"Is he doing okay though?"
"For now, yes, but his sugar levels have been fluctuating a lot. They're waiting for it to stabilize before they can send him home."
"Okay, that's not bad. So what are you going to do?"
"Well, I was thinking of going to the hospital and staying with him until he gets discharged."
"Yes, of course, you should go."
"Really? Will you be able to look after Noelle? What about work?"
"Obviously, I can take care of her. She's my daughter, too. Work can wait for a few days. You just go and make sure that everything is all right with your dad."
"Yeah, okay. I was just worried because you've been really busy with work and I don't want Noelle to be left alone at all."
"You don't have to worry about a thing, okay? I'll make sure that Noelle is well taken care of. You only have your dad right now, so you should go take care of him."
"You're right. I'll call Christina and tell her about the news. She can come around too, and maybe we could switch days so you can work and I can take care of Noelle."
"I don't think that's a good idea."
"What? Why?"
"Well, Christina's already going through a rough patch right now, and staying at the hospital with your dad will need her to take off from work, and that's something she can't afford to do."
"But this is her father. I'm sure she'll want to be there for him."
"Yeah, but it will also add more stress on her. Why don't you just keep her updated about how things are going, and maybe, if, God forbids, things get worse, she can come over then."
"Fine. I don't have the mental space or energy to look into the rationale of all this. Just take care of Noelle. I'll make a timetable and send it to you. Just follow that, okay?"
"Don't you worry about a thing. Go be with your dad. I'll hold down the fort for a few days. Keep me updated too."
"I will. Thanks, honey." I was glad that Joey was so understanding of my situation and even more touched to see how much he cared for my sister. I wasted no time in packing myself a bag for the next few days. I texted Christina to let her know the situation with Dad, gave Noelle a kiss goodbye, and made my way to the hospital. When I got there, Dad was asleep, but he was happy to see me when I woke up. The next 3 days were kind of fun for us. I mean, we never got to spend much time together after I moved out, and he was in much better health as the days passed. By the end of it, he was back to being his happy, bubbly self. The day that he got discharged, I dropped him back home and made my way to Noelle's school to pick her up. When she saw me waiting for her in the parking lot, she ran up to me with the biggest smile on her face. "Hi, Mommy." "Hi, sweetie. How are you?" "I'm good. How's Grandpa?" "Grandpa's doing much better now." "Yay. Can we go see him soon?" "Why don't we let Grandpa rest for a few days first?" "We'll visit him next week, okay?" "Okay." "Did you have fun while Mommy was away?" "Not really." "What? Why?" "Daddy doesn't play with me like you do. He was always on his phone." "Really?" "Yeah, I was waiting for you to come home so we could watch cartoons together." "Oh, sweetie, we'll watch whatever you want." "Yay. Did anything else happen?" "No. Wait, yes, I saw Grandma's ghost." "Grandma's ghost?" "Yeah, Grandma's ghost came to visit Dad." "Sweetie, what are you talking about?" "I came back home from school the day before yesterday and I saw a lady in the house." "You saw a woman? In the bedroom? Did you recognize her?" "I didn't see her clearly because she walked into the bedroom. I asked Daddy who she was and he asked me what I was talking about. But I saw a lady, Mommy, I really did." "Did you tell Daddy that you saw this lady again?" "Yes, because I wanted to know who that was." Dad told me then that I must have seen the ghost of my grandma. Dad told me that Grandma was here because she was worried about Grandpa and that she rushed out of heaven when she heard that Grandpa was in hospital. She was staying with us because the hospital wouldn't let her stay there. Oh, wow, that's quite a story. Are you sure you saw a lady in the house? Yes, Mommy, I promise. All right, that's enough of that. Mommy's getting kind of scared. How about we get back home and watch cartoons now? Okay. I didn't understand what Noelle was talking about and decided to think about it later. I gave her the day she wanted and eventually put her to bed. Joey had gone on a business trip that morning after dropping Noelle at school. But as I tried to fall asleep, I found myself thinking about what Noelle had said. My mother passed away a year after Noelle was born. I was very close to her, and while the thought seemed touching, I didn't believe in ghosts, not to mention it was Joey who fed her that story. Eventually I fell asleep and decided that if I still couldn't stop thinking about it the next morning, I'd look into it. The next morning I dropped Noelle off at school. When I came back home, I realized that I had been thinking about Noelle's ghost story all day. I had a strong feeling in my gut that something was very wrong. I felt like Joey was lying to me about something. So I opened Joey's laptop to find his phone. I was beyond confused to see his phone still in our city. He had told me that he was going to New York. I zoomed in a little more on the actual location of his phone, and I was shocked to see that he was at my sister's house. My head was spinning. Why would he have to lie about that? I then did something I was not proud of. I went through his messages and his social media. That was where I found my smoking gun. Hundreds, if not thousands of messages between the two of them, almost all of them explicit. The few that weren't explicit were about how they had so much fun with each other the last time they met. I kept scrolling and scrolling until I found when it all started. It started when Christina moved here. The business trips were just Joey's pathetic excuse to go over and stay with Christina. My entire world shattered at that moment. There was only one person I could go to about the whole thing, and that was my dad. I somehow made the drive to his place with tears flowing down my cheeks. When he opened the door to me, he was shocked to see me sobbing. "Sweetie, hi, what's wrong? Come in." "I don't know any more, Dad. I really don't." "Okay, just cry it all out. I'm right here for you." "I just found out something so vile and disgusting that I don't even know how to feel right now other than hurt. Where do I even begin if I want to tell you what I found out?" "Why don't you tell me how it all started?" "Well, when I returned back after staying with you at the hospital, I went to pick Noelle up from school, and she told me that she had seen Mom's ghost at home." "What?" "Yeah, and when I asked her to explain it to me, she told me that she had seen a woman at home, and that Joey had told her that it was Mom's ghost who came to visit you and was staying with us because she couldn't stay at the hospital." "I don't like where this is headed, and I definitely don't like that he's using my wife as a cover-up. So I followed him around and found out that he's been cheating on me with Christina." "What?" "I looked through their messages, and this has been going on for 6 months, right around the time that Joey got really busy with work. I don't know what to do anymore." "Hold on. Is that why your sister never visited me at the hospital?" "Yeah. He was the one who convinced me not to call Christina over to the hospital when you were sick, because he didn't want her stressed out. But really, he just wanted to get in her pants. I feel so sick." "This is absolutely unacceptable. Sweetie, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Do you want me to have a word with Christina?" "What will that do? That won't erase any of this pain." "Okay, then how about we get some revenge?" "Revenge? Isn't that like childish?" "Who cares? They didn't care about you, or the fact that you and Joey have a child, or the fact that Noelle saw Christina and they were sleeping around when Noelle was at home.
It's time to stand up for yourself and Noelle.
You know what? You're right. Will you help me plan this revenge out?
Absolutely. How about we grab lunch together and discuss this?
I was so grateful that Dad understood me much better than I understood myself. Of course, on any regular day, I would never have agreed to take revenge, but this was different. This was a betrayal of another kind entirely, a betrayal that needed to be rewarded with pain. Over lunch, Dad and I devised our plan. The first order of business was for me to get a job. That way, I could ask for a divorce, move out, and still have the means to stay on my feet. So after a few long conversations with Joey, which were just mostly working out how to take care of Noelle, I started working again. Then the next phase was to start the filing process. I also aimed to get full custody of Noelle, so I needed to document Joey's neglect of Noelle. That wasn't very hard. I just had to screenshot all of our conversations and record a few phone calls where he bailed at the last minute for work. Not to mention, I did have some baby monitors still set up, and they recorded how even when it was just Joey and Noelle together, he'd ignore her to watch his shows. Lastly, I was going to expose Joey on his birthday in front of all his family and friends. I talked really big about this party with Joey. He got really excited about it, and I couldn't wait to destroy all that happiness. I invited all his friends and family, and even some of my family, including Christina, a month before his birthday, just so everyone could clear their schedules and make it. On the day of the party, I dropped Noelle off at my dad's after telling Joey that his party was a kid-free one. I didn't want her to witness any of the ugliness that was about to unfold. The party began with Joey cutting his cake and then carried on with everyone giving him their presents. I waited to get to the end. I made sure that he was beyond happy just so I could watch it crumble down to nothing. Okay, it's my turn to give you a gift.
Oh, you didn't have to.
I really did.
What's this?
I'm sure you can read it, Joey.
Why are you divorcing me?
Because I know.
No? About what?
Everyone. I've just sent you a file. Why don't you take a look at it and see what my dear husband has been up to in the last 8 months?
What's going on?
What's going on is that I just sent everyone proof of you cheating on me with my sister.
What? I didn't.
Save it, Joey. While I was worried for my dad, you brought my sister into our house and into our bedroom to sleep with you. What's worse is that Noelle was here and you lied to her about what was going on. Did you have no shame at all?
Okay, look, it was a one-time thing.
Don't even. I know that you've been seeing her since April.
What did you expect? You weren't giving him any attention.
So you thought that you could just weasel yourself in and sleep with my husband?
I'm sorry, okay? It was a mistake. You can't leave me.
Oh, I most definitely can. You left me alone for days because you had work trips. Hell, you left me alone when I was sick. I had to take care of Noelle all by myself, and I never got a break because you were too busy cheating on me.
It was a moment of weakness. I was feeling really neglected, and she just got me. I know it's wrong, but I guess I should have resisted all the temptations and just talked to you about it.
You guess you should have? Do you have any idea how insensitive you sound? You ruined our whole family, our relationship, because you couldn't resist your temptations, and you guess you should have talked to me?
Fine, I should have. I'm sorry. I promise I'll work on myself. I'll be better. Just please don't leave me. I can't live without you. You're my world.
Don't be corny. You show me that I don't matter to you at all.
So, what? You arranged this entire party for me just to humiliate me?
Of course, you humiliated me in the worst way, and this is the least that I could have done. I have all my things packed, and Noelle will live with me at my dad's.
You can't take my daughter from me. I will not let that happen.
You can't be trusted. You ignored her the entire time I left you with her because you were too busy with Christina. Not to mention the fact that you were never very present to begin with. I'm going to make sure I get full custody and there's nothing you can do about it. Please don't do that, please. Feel free to contact my lawyer if you need to speak to me. I walked out of that house and I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Not to mention, I felt like I was in a movie because everyone just stared at me as I walked out. Joey kept trying to call out to me and kept begging me to stay with him, but I just walked out and didn't stop to listen to him. When I finally got back to Dad's place, I finally processed the entire thing. Joey didn't even have a valid reason to cheat on me. He just felt sorry because I caught him and was leaving him. If I hadn't caught or left him, he would have continued to have an affair with Christina. That hurt like crazy to think about. I mean, they were the two most important people in my life after my dad and Noelle. I couldn't understand how they could treat me so poorly. A few hours after I got back from Joey's party, Christina came over to yell at me for embarrassing Joey. Before I could even say anything, Dad interjected and told her that she had no right to yell at me and my actions when she was the one who was sleeping with my husband. She had nothing more to say to that. Dad asked her to never speak to him because he felt disgusted that he raised a daughter like her. I knew it pained Dad to say it, but he told me later on that he meant every word. He raised me right, and it showed. He raised Christina in the same way as me, but she chose to be different and worse. That was not okay with Dad. Joey's pathetic pleas for me to come back quickly evolved into anger over the next few days. He would text me to cuss me out for embarrassing him and ruining his social life. None of his friends wanted anything to do with him, and his parents disowned him. If there was one thing his mother could not tolerate, it was cheaters. She called me later on to apologize for Joey's actions, but I told her she had nothing to apologize for. It was hard explaining things to Noelle, but she understood it eventually. Every now and then she'd ask to meet Joey, and I'd take her to the park and ask Joey to meet us there. He'd use that time to beg me to be with him rather than spend time with Noelle. Eventually she understood that time with Joey wasn't actually any time with him, so she stopped asking to see him. The divorce and the child custody battle took well over a year to get over, but when it did, I was granted full custody of Noelle, and Joey was granted visitation every weekend. I was just glad to be done with everything because that meant I could move on to better things for me and Noelle. It's been a few years since everything got settled, and I've been having a blast. I now work a good job. My dad and Noelle are the best of friends, and Noelle practically considers Dad to be her father figure too. Joey and Christina stopped seeing each other shortly after they were exposed for their affair, but it's safe to say that neither of them has many of their friends left by their side. Oh well, I guess that's the price you pay when you mess around. Thanks for listening.